Hey everybody, and welcome to my first ever team report kind of thing that I'm going to do here. Basically, I just wanted to take a minute to, talk about how the International Challenge went, talk about the Hail team, talk about maybe what I would change if I go forward, and like make this team better. And, I have to re-release the rental code because, as I think I've stated in a couple of those International Challenge videos, the Solgaleo was not hyper-trained before I put it on the rental code and used it in the first two Hail videos. So, first of all, let's get that rental code out of the way. Let me throw it on the screen right now. There's the rental code. How lovely it is. I hope you like the name. I'm not looking at it right now, so hopefully it looks nice and it looks cool on the screen. It's there. So now let's talk about the team for a little bit. This team did, pretty good for a Hail team. Like I'm disappointed that I didn't do better, obviously, but some of that has to do with me, and some of that has to do with how dead set I was on using this snowball. I think. I don't know my exact ranking at this moment in time. Let me throw that on the screen here. There it is. There's my ranking. It's not great. I really lost a lot of games on day 3. I peaked at about 1700, and day 3 I just was like win loss, lose. It was kind of rough for me, and I think that has to do a little bit with just battle fatigue. I have to build up my tolerance a little bit more, and part of it has to do with how different it is playing on Showdown all the time, and like the teams that you face on Showdown, and playing on cartridge and the teams that you face on cartridge. People say it all the time, it's true. Like, sorry, early in the morning. It's true. The teams that you face and the way that people play on cartridge and on Showdown are very different, and like sometimes it's a hard adjustment to make. Like on Showdown, I would say only about half the time the Sun teams like just let me smack their Charizard with Arctivish for free, and on cartridge they pretty much let me do it every single time. It's kind of weird. Like that's a good thing, but it makes me nervous because I'm like, well, what if they switch in the Gastrodon and like they just never brought it, or they never switched it in, and I don't know. It's weird, like what people will guess that you're gonna do. Like it's a very obvious play, and they don't call it because they're like, that's too obvious. They're not gonna do that. So let's talk about the team. Honestly and truly, like, I feel like the weakest member of this team is the Solgaleo with the snowball. I almost feel like this team would be better if it was just like a Zacian. Cause like, yeah, the Solgaleo clutched a lot of games with Trick Room, but like if it was like a Zacian that I had gotten a speed boost onto, I wouldn't have needed Trick Room in the first place. Does that make sense? And I almost never got the snowball off. I think I maybe did it like once or twice on stream out of 45 games, So if anything's gonna change, at least like in the immediate future, it's probably gonna be this Solgaleo, and maybe it'll be Zacian, maybe it'll be something else. Who knows? God, sorry, it's early in the morning. I worked until 11 last night, and I'm in at 11 a.m. today. We're having a great time. Every other Pokemon on this team like really pulled its weight. Like sometimes I wished that Ninetales had Protect on it, but this Ninetales like really did his job. Yveltal like was great most of the time. I think running that one speed more than Kyogre really was like a good choice that I made. So I did end up wishing I had like Sucker Punch or something a lot of the time, but there's not really space for it on the kind of set that I went for, if that makes sense. I really needed the Heat Wave. It was probably, to be honest, I probably clicked Heat Wave more often than I clicked like Snarl or Oblivion Wing, or I clicked Max Flare about as often. No, I'd probably click Airstream more than anything else, but I clicked Max Flare like sometimes more than I clicked Max Darkness because there's just so many steel types in the format, and the fire attack was just so good to have. Yeah. The Arctivish absolutely pulled its weight. On Showdown, like I felt like I didn't get to bring it that much, and on cart, like the Arctivish, just like every other game, I would bring it and like just absolutely wreck something with it, or I'd bring it and I would decide to Dynamax it and max Hailstorm into things, and it just did really great. Absolutely surprised at how well the Arctivish did, and I think it did super great. I'm glad I didn't switch it for an Arctizolt because, spoilers, I might be like doing like a sand team for Showdown, and I've been trying to do Dracozolt, and people do not let you Bolt Beak their Charizard, but they absolutely let you Fish S Render with Arctivish, and I don't understand why. Like I said, the Solgaleo is the weakest member. Like, it didn't do bad, but it also didn't do good. I don't know. It's kind of a weird spot that it's in. It's like, I don't know. It feels the way that Solgaleo feels like almost every time I use it. It's like every time I play against it, it feels so good, and every time I use it, it feels like it's just not good. It's just okay. And that's kind of how this Solgaleo feels. Like it did clutch a lot of games, but like I didn't really max it that much. I usually just kind of brought it in the end and got a Trick Room off and hoped that I could KO whatever was left with it. And that's kind of the problem with it. The Incineroar, it doesn't come to every game, but the games that it comes to, it really, really clutches and does a lot of work. That's really what it's here for. It was really good. It was really good for like Trick Room matchups against Calyrex Ice. Really, really made those games a lot easier. It was really good for like, I could set my own stun with Yveltal and then bring Incin in and just Flare Blitz the crap out of something. That was really nice. Yeah, I mean, it's Incineroar, it's always going to be good. And then the Thundurus, honestly, the last Pokemon to join this team, one of the best additions. I led this Thundurus in so many games, and it did super well in a lot of those games. Now, do I wish it wasn't weak to rock? Do I wish my whole team wasn't weak to rock? Yes. That's definitely a problem, because even if I like lead the Thundurus into a Landorus, they still just max Rockfall, and if they get like a crit, they KO me anyway, which really, really sucks. But like Thundurus Yveltal leads were like super good. Thundurus next to Arctivish was super good because I had the option of either just switching in Ninetales or going for Airstreams and getting Arctivish fast that way. Just super, super good Pokemon all around and a really good addition to the team. As for the rock type weakness, I mean, that's really like the biggest weakness of the team is that 5 out of 6 Pokemon are weak to rock. I really don't know what I do about it. Because like, I don't know, because like, it's a Hail team, right? So right off the bat, I'm going to have 2 Pokemon that are weak to rock, and there isn't anything I can do about that. And then you kind of need Incineroar if you're going to be running this, because you need to have something that resists the fire attacks and mostly just the fire attacks coming off of things. And, the good for Intimidate and damaging Calyrex, because my Ice Pokemon really can't damage Calyrex very well, unless I can fight it outside of Trick Room, and then Fish S Rend will do chunks. And if I want to go for like a weakness policy kind of thing, well, it kind of has to be Yveltal. Because, I mean, I guess you could do, like, I don't know, Groudon would be dumb. Because Groudon is, wow, they're mowing the lawn out there. I hope you can't hear that. Because Groudon says the sun, and that's really counterproductive for your whole strategy. So as far as restricted that I can throw a weakness policy on, Yveltal is really the only one. And it's weak to rock. So, what are you going to do? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I really can't do much about the rock weakness. I could, like, I don't know, like, run, like, Crocodile or something, but then Crocodile's weak to Calyrex, and that kind of defeats the whole thing Incineroar does. I could run, like, maybe a different Defiant Mon, but all the good Defiant Mons are flying type. Like, I guess Zapdos isn't weak to rock, but Zapdos probably isn't going to be as good as his Thundurus was. I'll probably, like, workshop some stuff, but anyway, like, that's how we did in the IC. I feel like this team is probably the best Hail team I've made so far out of all my Hail teams. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Series 10 Hail team was better, just because Series 10 was a better format for me. I was a lot more comfortable in that format. But I feel like this is probably the best Hail team I could have made without playing as many games on cart as I did in the International Challenge. That's really good. You know, you learn, and learning is good, and knowing is half the battle, G.I. Joe. So yeah, anyway, that's the video. It is like a shorter video. I just wanted to, you know, get my thoughts out, and I didn't wake up early enough to record a real video, so here we are. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, please leave me a like. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about this Hail team. Do you like the Hail team? Do you hate the Hail team? What would you change about this team? And you know, even if that comment is, I would change all 6 Pokemon, I hate this team, go ahead and leave it. That's fine. It's good for the algorithm, and it'll be good for me to learn what people like. Anyway, with that, everybody, my name is Andrew, and I will catch you guys next time.